Hey, everybody. I hope I'm live. This is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Chaos Central. So glad to be here, even though I'm starting late today. Thank you all for waiting patiently. Um, it's been a week or two. It's been kind of crazy. It's been up and down all around. As many of you know, I come to South Carolina quite often. We've been doing this since 2019 to care for my husband's mom. And things have just kind of taken couple of steps down. She's not sick or anything, just to let you all know. I know many of you are very concerned. She's basically has lost her ability to walk. So now it takes two people to do a lot of stuff for her. So thank you for being patient. And as you know, we try to time this in the right way. Last week, we were just trying to get into the groove of how to do this, just trying to figure out life. Um, this is not the summer I planned, believe me, but it looks like I'm going to be spending most of it, if not all of it, in sunny South Carolina, where the temperatures are going to be up in the high 90s today. Yay! So I'm going to stay inside with my crochet hook and stay out of the heat. But anyway, this is still a good day. A lot of good things, a lot of blessings happened this week. Before I get into the chat, just wanted to tell you that I guess it was, what day was it? Anyway, it was about 2 weeks ago. I have another grandchild added to the family, so I'm really excited about that. His name is Charlie, so I'm really excited about little Charlie. I have not met him yet, but looking forward to that whenever God opens up an opportunity for me to travel again. So I can see my little grandbaby. So anyway, let me go ahead and just greet you all. I need this probably more than you, I promise you. Angie, good morning to you. Oh, Miss Wanda, thank you for being there for me. Sorry, guys. Whew, this has been a very busy morning. Okay. Thank you for your prayers. I feel them. And Sandra, good morning to you. She says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone from a kind of warm 93 Southern California day. Yeah, that's warm. We're supposed to get up around 96, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to be enjoying that from indoors and hopefully what will remain an air-conditioned environment. And howdy to you, Phil. He says, howdy, y'all, at home in New York today for some much needed home time. Good for you. Had blood work to do today, so I am out and about getting some groceries. Well, you enjoy that time driving hopefully a smaller vehicle around town than your 18-wheeler. But thanks again for all that you do for us. And Cynthia says, I set an alarm on my cell phone to remind me to look for this live chat on Fridays. Well, great, Cynthia. And of course, I am late today. But anyway, I am here now. So thank you for joining me, Cynthia. And Felicia, great to have you. And is it Alana? Says, hi, everyone. So glad to be with you. Thank you. And Diane, thank you for being here from New Jersey. And Joy, welcome to our chat. And Red Hooked says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone in the chat. Just an update on my broken leg. Surgery went well. Yay. And doctor is happy with my progress. I might be able to put weight on it in early July. Well, Diana, that's wonderful. That's such good news. And Teresa says, good morning from sunny Utah. And yeah, encouraging Red Hooked and keeping her in her prayers. Thank you so much, Teresa. That is so kind of you to do that. Okay, I'm a little slow today, guys. Let's see, where did we go? All right, here we go. Is it Sono? Says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone from Oklahoma City. Welcome. Wow. And Denise is joining us. Says, hope everyone is doing well. And we have, let's see, Barbara's in the chat. Good morning to you, kiddo, from Peonyville. Yes, up in Alaska. Wow, I would love to go see those. My mom loved those flowers, by the way. And there are a bunch of them. Actually, I should take pictures of the ones that grow in where I live in Maryland, because our neighbors have if they haven't cut them down, they had like bushes of those that come up every year. And PK Madsen, thank you for the congrats. And Felicia, thank you. Yes, I can't wait to meet this little guy. And just to say, it was a much better delivery for Mama too. So I was just very happy about that. Um, and thank you, Miss Wanda. And Denise, thank you. Yeah, on this, she says, congratulations on the safe arrival of Charlie. Thank you. And PK says, sending good vibes to you from Montana. Wow, way out west. It was early morning. They're probably still for you, or a couple hours earlier. Um, uh, and is it Almer? Almer? I know these names are kind of weird the way they're coding them now, but sorry if I can't get that one right. It says good morning from Augusta, Georgia. Ooh, you guys, yeah, that's the Masters territory. Welcome, welcome. And Grammy Rena waving at you. And Phil says, "Oh yes, my little Hyundai Sonata. Ah, cool. My one of my daughter-in-laws has a Hyundai. It's not the Sonata. It's a weird name. It's the name of a god, Kono or something like that. It just reminded me of a Gilligan's Island episode when I heard the name of it. But she has a little Hyundai. And Maple Trees says hiya from the Adirondacks, where we are also experiencing the heat. Yeah, yeah, we'll get through this, guys. After all, we're very close to being officially in summer, right? Isn't it the 21st? I have a granddaughter born on the summer solstice, and because remember last year, I think I broke a land speed record, getting from Maryland down to Georgia, because I was her plan A, B, C, and D with helping with the other little guy in our family. So my little granddaughter is coming up on her first birthday. Gee whiz, in a little over a week. That's crazy. And thank you, Alana, for the congrats. And Hannah, thank you for joining me. She's my tag team partner. Um, and I have been doing, yeah, the Kona. Thank you. Yeah, the Hyundai Kona. Thank you, Hannah, for telling me that. And she says, I'm here now. I'm just now seeing that. All right. But see, let me tell you an idea. This is kind of a joke, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get serious about this. Hannah and I, we're doing a lot of weightlifting these days, and we were joking around, thinking that we should do a tag team, right? So we're doing a tag team lifting. So I thought, hey, we can join WWE, and we can call ourselves Heaven's Angels or something like that. Okay, totally joking, but we have to do something for humor relief around here. But it's been one of those, and just do your best. And Hannah has been a godsend. I cannot tell you. I can't talk about her too much because I'll start crying because she's such a blessing. Whew. But yeah, it's been one of those couple weeks, guys. um, and Phyllis says, "Good morning, Bonnie. Have a blessed day from Nampa, Idaho." I hope I said that right. Wow, I'll have to look that up because I may be going to Idaho at some point. Maybe very within a year is the plan. And Alana, welcome, welcome. Thank you for greeting Hannah. And Susie says, good afternoon from Augusta, Georgia, too. Wow, we got a couple of Augusta folks. You're not that far from, I guess, where I am in South Carolina right now. Not too far. I'm about 20 minutes from 30 minutes from Myrtle Beach, depending on the traffic on 501. But yeah. Okay. Uh, Barbara says, send pictures. I'll see what I can do. I'm trying to be very careful, though. I would love to just paste the internet with pictures of my grandchildren, but we need to be just really careful. But I might send some of you friends. I might try to do that. He's a cute little guy. And it's just sad that we have to be so careful about babies' pictures, but it's just the world we live in. Hannah, am I still live? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Looks like I had an unstable connection here. Looks like I'm back. Um, and Rosa Ma, is that right? From Mexico. Welcome, welcome. And so glad to have you with us. I've been to your beautiful country twice in my life, and it would be fun to go back again. All right, let's see. Yep, just a hiccup. Okay, got it. Got it. Got it. And Robin, okay, we have Carmen says huge hello from Mexico. Wow, another person from Mexico. That's fantastic. Um, and Teresa says, "Good morning, Hannah. Thank you for being here and helping out." Absolutely. And Robin says, "Just popping in to say hello from down the road in Ellicott City, Maryland. Be glad you weren't here yesterday. The thermometer hit 100 degrees. Definitely stay indoors. Congrats on the grandkid." Thank you so much, Robin. Yeah, I can't wait to be just down the road from you. Looking forward to getting back. I planted flowers right before I left home when did I leave? It was mid May. So I've been down here about a month. So I want to see my flowers. It sounds kind of silly, but I'm looking forward to seeing my flowers. Well, you all tuned in to Talk Crochet. So let me go ahead and get to that. Thank you for interacting with me or listening to me interact with you, I guess. Um, but this is the big news, I guess, the flag. We've talked about this 2 weeks ago, but this is now live. For video one is live on my channel. Video number two will be coming on Monday. So hopefully I'm not holding anybody up because there's a lot of crocheting for video number one. But let me go ahead and open it up. This is my Heirloom American flag. And yes, it is part of the celebration for our 250th birthday as a free country. Um, just celebrating the Declaration of Independence, liberty, um, freedom, and we know freedom it comes at a high cost. But all of that, and the big difference, I guess, about my flag is that I crocheted it with a number of different stitches. A couple of the stitches do repeat, but in different colors, so it still looks a little different. Um, and I did that because of our motto. Our country's motto, I guess, as of the 1950s, was changed to "In God We Trust," which I love that motto. Okay, it looks like I paused there a minute, but on our money and on the Great Seal of the United States, there is another motto that says "E pluribus unum," which is Latin for, I'm told, out of many, one. So I wanted to do all the stripes a little bit differently. Now, because of that, somebody contacted me over this past week and wanted to know, well, what are the exact measurements? Well, I don't give that per se in the pattern, but just know that the stripes do vary a tiny bit. Like I'm talking this much, a quarter of an inch in places. Um, so you might get a stripe that is 3 3/4 of an inch wide, and then another might be 4 inches wide. But honestly, your eyes do not pick that up. And that is due to the fact that we're using a lot of different stitches, and not all stitches are alike. So anyway, I can't get it all in, but if you look at the video, you'll see some very clear pictures of this. It is I'll put this like this, maybe. I'm trying to keep it off the floor because even though it's just a blanket, it is still the American flag, which I don't like having displayed touching the ground. It's surprising. I was looking on Etsy the other day, and people have different convictions, and that's their business. But my conviction is the flag should not touch the ground, just out of respect for the flag. I was a Girl Scout, Civil Air Patrol, and we learned these things. And my father, who was a veteran of the Korean War, was absolutely militant about etiquette for the American flag. But it was just interesting to me when I went on Etsy this week. I'm looking at some of the other flags that have been done. A lot of them are displayed draped along the floor. And I'm like, ugh, please don't do that. Take another picture. I mean, so my picture may not be as artistically done for this, but there's a purpose behind that because I didn't want it to be draped onto the floor like I do a lot of my throws because this one is extra special. Well, anyway, this week I had, because of all that's going on here, I'm away from my stash. So that's, while some people might think that's disastrous, it just presents an opportunity to buy more yarn. So I went to the best yarn source available to me down here. And I've used this yarn before, but I'm really loving it even more now. I went to Hobby Lobby and I got 10 of these for a design that I'm working on now. It's called I Love This Cotton. This is this yarn is only available through Hobby Lobby. They have an online hobbylobby.com, but I know many of you have Hobby Lobby stores near you. This yarn is really, really good. A lot of times I'll caution you on working with yarn, working with cotton too long because it can hurt your hands. Um, while this is still cotton, there's going to be a little bit more resistance with cotton than maybe with other fibers like wool or even acrylic. But this is really, really soft cotton, and I am just loving this. I'm not going to tell you what I'm making, but I'm going to show you how it's stitching up. Isn't that nice? Let's see, hold it back so you can get the color. And it gives really nice stitch definition too. So this is part of my mental health, my mental health project too. And when I finish this one, I'm going to do a project with this. It's some more. I love this yarn. And this is 100% acrylic. And I wanted to point out something else about this that was pretty cool. And one of the main reasons why I went there is all of their yarn, their entire yarn stock last week was 30% off. So this is not only really nice yarn, but it's really economically a good choice. $4.49. And this is for how many ounces? So many yards, 180 yards or 3.5 ounces. But this was 30% off. So that brought it down to like $3 and some change. So it took like a dollar. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, but it took over $1 to $1.50 off. So it brought it down to the $3, maybe $3.10 range or something like that, which is a really good price. And this is $4.99. Okay, again, it was so that's $5. It was 30% off. So 5 times 7, 35. That's $3.50. So that brings this down to $3.50. And that's for 355 yards. And that's generous for that price, I think. To compare, Love Crafts, I don't have the Love Crafts Simply Aran yarn, but theirs, when it's on sale, is lower than this, but it's not 355 yards, it's 201 yards. So this is a really good deal. So I got enough of that as well, just to keep everything busy and working while I seek to serve somebody else in their home who's needing help. Well, anyway, let me get back to the chat. Hey, Teresa, great to have you again. And thank you for that reminder, Denise, on the thumbs up. And Robin says, hello. Oh, wow, that's hot. Bleh. Yep, we've got hot temps now. And M. Mig 12 says, congratulations and many blessings for your new grandbaby and family. Thank you so much. And Rhonda, great to have you with us. And a bunch of messages just loaded. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Oh, boy. Thank you guys for being so patient as I find my way here. All right, I read that one. And thank you, Denise, for praying for Hannah. We could certainly all benefit from that. And thank you, Carol, for the congrats on little Charlie. Um, and thank you for prayers for us. And this is kind of getting it to be an intense season, but we are going to try to stay as true as we can to it. And Leanne's craft room says, "Hello, Bonnie and Hannah. I have insomnia, so I'm awake and alert in Australia. Wow, it's wonderful to catch you live. I've admired you for many years." Oh, you're so kind, Leanne. I love your country. I can't wait to get back there. It may be a while, but I just wanted to let you know that up front. I just really enjoyed my time there with my husband. And ironically, that was like the month before my mother passed away, and she was living with us at the time. But yeah, a lot of memories going to the Blue Mountains and seeing your kangaroo in the wilderness. Oh my goodness, just seeing them out in the fields and sometimes alongside the roads. Wow. That just kind of blew my mind as an American. Um, Brought home some of the best alpaca I'll probably ever crochet with. Lots and lots of memories. Um, Thank you, Joy, for your prayer. Thank you so much. That means a ton to us. Thank you. Rhonda says, "Have a blessed day." Thank you. And Shelly says, "Only 62 with a predicted high of 64 here in Northwest Minnesota today." Nice, Shelly. Can you just kind of send it to the east? That would be fantastic. I know this heat is just a temporary heat spell. I know it's going to probably break soon. Uh, And we have Carol with us, and oh, Barbara, you're so kind. We're doing the best we can, friend. That's all I can say. It's not as pretty in the moment to moment, but we are doing what we can. So yeah. And Hannah says to everybody, much appreciated. And she says, "I like your temperature much better than here, Shelley." Yes, we do. uh, and thank you, Leanne. Our Hannah encouraging Leanne, yeah. And Karen Woodward, great to have you with us. Hey, back to you. Um, yeah, Sona, I'm sorry about the internet connection. I've actually been having some computer trouble. I mean, it's like when it rains, it pours. That we are in a different part of the country where we do not have FiOS like I usually broadcast from at home. But I think this just looks like it's working okay. And Hannah says, "Can you show the arrow stitch up close?" Um, okay, and this is the blanket hard. Okay, let me show. Let me go ahead and show the arrow stitch, which is right here. Now, there is something that I've done different with the stitch in order to get this to fit into the parameters of this throw that I was making. And by the way, the dimensions are 53 inches wide by 73 inches long. So this is a big throw, and it will cover the entire uh, it will cover an entire queen size bed. Now, it's not going to drape down along the side, but it will cover the surface of a queen size bed, if that helps to give you an idea of what those numbers mean. But the arrow stitch is actually crocheted twice in the throw, both one time in white and then another time as a red stripe. And I use half double crochets instead of double crochets behind the trebles, for those of you who understand that. Um, and is it difficult? Um, oh, okay, I'll just leave it like that. Is it difficult? Um, there are some challenges to this. There are several different stitches, as I mentioned. I think the hardest thing is just getting the stars lined up, honestly, because I think these are very achievable stitches. These are stitches, most of the stitches, except for maybe one, you've seen before if you followed any of my work in the past. But that said, I have complete video tutorials, two of them, part one and part two, for this throw. I do need to give a shout out to my left-handed friends who are, I'm just going to say this. I believe, as a righty, I believe you all are smarter than we are because you've had to learn to adjust to a right-handed world. We have not, because are more dominant. So everything is right-handed. You guys have had to learn to adjust to that. Now, the videos that I released, and I do have a note in the video description about this, and I'm telling you, there's also a note about it in the written pattern. I know some people are going to have trouble with this, but when you get to the blue field, because you're crocheting the blue field right alongside the stripes, with the flipped image, you will get a flag that is the flipped image, which has the blue field on the right side instead of the left side when you're viewing it straight on, if you can understand that. So what you need to do, and this is separated out in the written pattern, I'll have the information for the stripe and the information for the blue field, and it's dictated in the pattern in the order for a right-handed person. But as lefties, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to read the stripe portion. You're going to have to reverse it. If the stripe portion comes first, then you need to do the blue field portion first. If the blue field portion comes first, and you need to do the stripe first, you just have to reverse that. And I do have a note just to you on that. I'm sorry that I can't do this left-handed. You're stuck with a flipped image of what I did for the right-handed, and the flag is just it's not reversible. This is probably the only design that I can recall that I've ever done where this just doesn't fit as eloquently as I would like it to. All right. I'm seeing some of the glitchiness on the video, so I do apologize for that. Well, let me show you something else. Well, let me show you the yarn. Since we're talking, I'll just keep talking about the flag. This may be old news to a lot of you, but I'll just for those of you who are new, I don't have the white that I use, which is called vanilla bean, which, as you can see, is slightly off white. It's not a brilliant white, but I used these colors, which is called barn. And then, okay, unstable connection. Okay, hold on. Okay, and then the blue, I love this. It's called Liberty. So now that I've shown you the colors, and all of this is listed in the video description here, I think. Yeah, it's listed here in the video description. And it's also listed in the video description of the videos for this throw. This is called Lion Brand's Local Homegrown 100% Wool. And I would have made this, honestly, I would have made this in 100% acrylic so that it would be a lower price point for you all. But I was just really bent on finding, if I'm going to make a United States flag, I wanted to make it out of US grown or US manufactured yarn. I couldn't find any US manufactured acrylic. I think it's all manufactured in Turkey. And there's nothing wrong, okay, with using, if you want to use acrylic from Turkey or wherever, there's not a problem with that. This is just my personal thing with making this for this particular celebration. But let me tell you more about this. Okay, so you have the local grown 100% wool. This is Lion Brand. You can get it on their site. 100% USA manufactured wool. This is a number 4, which is worsted weight. Each of these has 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, 186 yards or 170 meters. Full disclosure, I believe this is, okay, sit down for this. I think this is like $10.99 a skein. When I bought it, it was $10.99 minus 30% because I got it on sale. And before I went live, I looked up some information on this this wool. Okay, I'll tell you how many I used. Okay, of Liberty, which is the blue, I used 5. Of the apple pie, I used 11. Vanilla bean, that's the off-white, I used 11. And of barn, I used 4. Now, Lion Brand, I do not have a link for them, but you can look up lionbrand.com and look up their yarn. If you buy 3 skeins of yarn, you get 25% off. If you order 6 skeins of yarn, you get 30% off. If you order more than 9 skeins of yarn. And if you order their yarn for this, I know it's expensive. Okay, I know that. Um, and I explained why I did this. I don't do this very often, and I rarely like to see the price of yarn more than $50 for a throw. I try to keep it cost effective. Okay, you can substitute. I'm talking about your substitute yarn just a second, but I just wanted to tell you about the yarn. It's going to be 35% off. So let's do the numbers real quick here. I'm going to use my calculator, so I'll get closer. Okay, so if it's 10.99 times 65%. Okay, so that brings it down to $7.14 or so a skein, which is still high because if you multiply that times a lot, it's you're still talking a lot of money, at least 250, 250. I know it's a lot. So those of you who would like to substitute another brand, I will recommend one. I may have an affiliate link in the video description below. I don't remember if I put one there or not, but the Paint Box Simply Aran, that's a yarn that I use a lot because number one, and I had this problem when I went to Hobby Lobby. Number one, you can get as many as you want with the same dye lot. That was the problem I had at Hobby Lobby. I couldn't get enough of any one color of the colors that were like my first and my second pick because they didn't have enough. And if they did, the dye lots did not match. So I had to move on to, well, let's rethink the wheel. Let's think about this. I stood there in the yarn aisle for at least 30 minutes just trying to figure this one out. Okay, well, and went for the off-white color yarn that I showed you, they had just enough, what I thought was just enough to accomplish what I had in mind. Even that it's going to be a close call because I had a hard time with the dye lots. But anyway, if you order online, Paint Box, it's at Lovecrafts. The Paint Box Simply Aran. If you buy the individual skeins, just one at a time, they're 35% off right now. If you buy five or more, like the packs of five or the packs of 10, you have to look on their site because they have that sectioned off that if buying individual ones. But if you buy packs of five or packs of 10, you get 40% off. And you can easily find colors to substitute for this project or for another. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that. Again, I'm not trying to be a hard sell on either of these particular yarns. I am not an employee of either company. I just give you my opinion. I really did enjoy using the Lion brand yarn, though. I really enjoyed this local grown. It was really nice yarn. Um, and as you know, I love the Paint Box. It just holds up, and I love being able to get a lot of it, a good price, and there's rarely a knot in. And I didn't really notice many knots in these either. And I blew through, probably 25 or more balls of that, and it was really nice. All right. Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, we did have a fire truck just go by here. Hannah's saying she heard it on the live. Um, okay, and Deborah was asking about is the blanket you're working on hard to do? Okay, we had talked about that. Yeah, the project that I'm working on with this color, I'm not going to reveal what it is yet. I'm being a little secretive about that because I'm not sure what I have in mind is going to work out. Quite frankly, I don't know, Deborah, if it's gonna be something that works, that I'm gonna be excited or happy to share with you, or if it's something that I rip out and turn into something else. So that's why I'm not gonna go too over the top on that. But I just wanted to show you the yarn and that it has really nice stitch definition. I can be a little tricky like that sometimes. See what else did Hannah say? Question from Stitch Mickey. What type of cotton should I use if I would like to make the flag out of cotton yarn and not wool yarn? Um, That's a little bit tricky because um, wool yarn, if you made it out of worsted weight wool yarn, it's going to be a super heavy blanket. You're talking a blanket that's going to cover a queen size bed. Um, if you don't mind that, the other issue is how are you going to wash it? Because I know if I had a blanket that big, a throw that big, I would not want to put it into my front loader because I'm afraid it would break it because cotton does tend to absorb. Think of like when you wash your jeans. If you put a whole, let's say if you put 20 pairs of I don't recommend you do this, but if you put like 20 pairs of jeans, heavy duty jeans into your washer, it will probably break because of the weight of the cotton. So I don't know if you've thought of that, but that would be something to see what you think. I just know that cotton is a heavier fiber than acrylic or wool. Wool is particularly good about wicking moisture. Um, but anyway, just submit that to you that I would think about that first. Now, if you're going to make it into like a DK, like a smaller version, it might be okay. Like if you used a cotton, maybe a DK weight or even a sport weight, and you'll end up with a smaller project. But that might be something you could consider. All right, so let me look real quick to see what else I have on the agenda. Oh, and coming in July, I decided I'm going to schedule this probably the first Monday in July. I have these dishcloths with a new stitch, and this stitch is also on. You can look at it. I'm calling this the drifting weave dishcloth. It is just a matter of using front and back post stitches just in a just slightly different way. I couldn't find the ball of yarn that I that I used for this. I had one extra left, and again, I'm living out of a suitcase and some bags, so call me the bag lady. I couldn't find it, but it's around the house here somewhere. It's in one of my bags. But I used paint box yarns, simply cotton, not simply cotton. This is the DK cotton. So I used a DK weight, which is a number 3. And this was also nicer yarn, just very soft, nicer than the kind that you get on the cone. Now, I do like to use the kind that's on the cone, the peaches and cream, which is a number 4 weight, the kind that you can get at Walmart and Michael's and just about everywhere. Um, that yarn is nice too, but that's the yarn that I warned you about. Don't work with it too long without taking breaks because it will stress your hands because of the friction as you pull that yarn through. This was a lot nicer. This was still cottony, but it was much easier to work with. But it's still tough, cotton. And these can be used as dishcloths. And I'm really excited about you all learning this because this is a really fun pattern. It looks complicated. I even have designed a hat and a scarf set um, to be coming in the fall with this as well, which I think would be a great stitch for a hat and a scarf, or one or both for guys, because it's not overly feminine looking, but it looks kind of geometric and kind of manly. At least that's the way I see things, the way I look at it. So yeah, what else do I have down here? Um, and that yarn, by the way, the paint box, the cotton DK is also on sale. And I have another video that will be coming. I'm going to schedule it for June 29th. It's on adding crochet to a denim jacket. I've taught a class on this, which the class covers a whole lot more than what I cover in the video. It's just a video. It's like 9 minutes or so long. And I'm just showing you how I attached a very large granny square made of number 2 weight cotton to the back of a jacket. It's my jeans jacket that I wear a lot in the fall and then the spring. And I made that recording a couple of years ago. I just never did anything with it. So I decided to go ahead. I'm going to release that. And just to let you know, the jacket, when you see that with the just the fabric glue attaching how I attached it and all, it is on my jacket is doing fine, and it's not showing really any signs of wear, and I have worn that thing for a couple years since I did that to it, so that'll be coming to my channel on the 29th. Um, the other newsy thing that I have, very important, if you want to sign up for classes for the upcoming Stitchburg Fiber Festival, that's in Pittsburgh or outside of Pittsburgh. It's going to be out of this world in Mars, PA. So if you've ever wanted to go to Mars, come join us in Mars, Pennsylvania, and at the Doubletree by Hilton Pittsburgh Cranberry location. You need to make reservations if you haven't already. It's August 21st through 23rd. And class sign up is open now. And as soon as it's first come, first serve. So if the classes fill, then the classes fill. August 21st, that's a Friday. I'll be teaching multiple ways to crochet ribbing. I'm teaching another class on intro to reading crochet patterns and stitch diagrams. And I do make this easy if you are, and it's okay if you only like to watch YouTube and you don't read patterns. But I think if you don't want to read, if you don't read patterns and you want to learn, I really encourage it because you're not limited to what you see or what someone teaches you. You'll be able to read anything and be able to understand what you're reading. And I also go over stitch diagrams, which are quite easy once you understand the code. And we have play a little fun bingo game, to help solidify some of the things that we learn in there as well. It's a lot of fun. I try to make it's more academic in a sense, but I try to make it a little more fun too. August 22nd, we'll be teaching a beginning knitting class for crocheters. So you don't have to have any knitting experience whatsoever, but if you crochet, you are halfway there. You are more than halfway there. And everybody that I've ever taught in these classes in person, they have left knowing how to knit. And because it's so intuitive going from crochet to the continental style. I'm not saying that the other style is bad or anything. It's just if you're a crocheter already, you don't have to change much at all. You can pick up knitting. And this is a person who tried to pick up knitting for a long time, from books and various things. And it just didn't make sense to me. And people were just like, just do this. And I'm like, I can't see what you're doing. But so finally, a friend of mine, Svetlana from one of my local yarn stores in Maryland, said, "Bonnie, you need to sit down and learn this." And so I was like, "Okay, okay." And I wanted to make this beautiful hat she had with the beautiful pom pom. So actually, the pom pom's probably the reason I learned to begin with, because I thought, "Oh, I just want to make one of those with those beautiful pom poms." And I left the store with all the supplies, so I was able to support her quite a bit, and she showed me what needed to be done, and it just clicked. It just clicked very quickly. Um, and I want to pass that on to you all. So that class will be August 22nd. In the afternoon, I'll be teaching Celtic weave and beyond. We're going to be focusing only on that stitch, but done in a couple of different, 2, 3 different ways. And crocheting the Saxon cable will be the last class. That Saxon cable looks really complicated, but we're going to break it down line by line, stitch by stitch, and you're going to go, oh, that's not so bad. So that's what we are going to do at that Pittsburgh. It's going to be a market. The market's already sold out. There are people on the waiting list who want to get in there to be a vendor. So there's going to be a lot of yarn available for sale in the marketplace. There's going to be a lot of other activities during that time. So definitely check it out. It's one of the most cost-effective fiber festivals I've ever taught at. And just because the price is not as expensive as some of the others doesn't mean that it's not as good. It's every bit as good. It's just the cost is just more affordable. So I definitely encourage you to check it out. If you're in the area of Pittsburgh, it's only like 3 to 3.5 hours drive from my home, which is not a bad drive at all. If compared to driving 8, 9 hours like we do regularly, a 3-hour drive is like an afternoon. it's just an afternoon drive, you know. So if you're in that area, Pittsburgh, West Virginia, Virginia, think about it. Think about coming and hanging out with some really fun crocheters and knitters. And there are going to be a lot of other classes there regarding fiber as well. So it is all sorts of things. So go ahead and check that out. I do have the links in the video description. Let's see, does Hannah? Okay, I think I'm caught up with Hannah. I know I'm way behind with you guys here. Oh, thank you, Karen, for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. I'm way behind on the comments. And Leanne, back to Hannah, says, thank you. I try not to worry too much about it. I simply go with it and hope it doesn't last too long. I hope things go well for you, Leanne. Um, and Phil, oh yeah, it's a crochet chat. Yeah, yeah. Look, we're mixing a lot of life in with it too, Phil. So that happens sometimes. Some things are, believe it or not, some things can be more important. So, okay, and I have a question from Denise. Are the dishcloths a yarn eater project? Well, how did you guess? Each of these will take about one ball of the recommended yarn, the DK weight, um, the Simply DK paint box yarn. I Those are very small balls anyway. I wanted to show one to you, but I couldn't find the other one. I might have had, I'm guessing, 15 to 20 yards left over from the ball. So you do have, it's not like you're going down to the last 2 inches. You have yeah, you have a good bit left over, but it's like maybe a fifth or a sixth of the ball left. So there's not a whole lot left. But yeah, yeah, they're definitely what you would call yarn eaters. I mean, they're front and back post double crochets. But as you do that, the when you do the half double, I mean the front and back post stitches, the stitch height is about the height of a half double. So it's not like single crochet because you have to have more rows with single crochet. But yeah, yeah, probably they are yarn eaters, but you end up with a very nice durable dishcloth as a result, and the yarn is very inexpensive. All right. Well, thank you guys for the encouragement. Uh, oh wow, Phyllis says it's by Boise Eagle, Idaho. Huh. Okay, great. Um, and Teresa says, I'm looking forward to making your new blanket. I've got my yarn ready, just need to finish up a couple small projects. Yay. Well, I have to tell you, I have been working on this large project for so long, and I finished it, and I've really enjoyed the break from throws, because this just took me so much time to do that, which I was glad I did it. But I've done one, two, I've done like 5 projects since then. I haven't put them all together, but I've like worked on smaller things that I had intended for the summer. So I have this dishcloth, and I'll have another dishcloth, a round one, coming in July. So I'm working on the smaller projects and really enjoying, starting and finishing something within a day or a day or two. It's been really nice. The one that I'm working with, this is going to be probably like maybe a week long project, but I'm just really enjoying the quick, the quick again, instead of the marathon. So anyway, uh and Barbara says, Bonnie, that blanket is spectacular. Thank you, Barbara. As I recall 1776 celebration in my mom's hometown very well. Yeah. Yeah, I really, yeah, and I remember that. Remember that too. The 1776. What year was I? I guess I was in junior high school. Yeah, I was in junior high school. I remember Jimmy Carter being president. And I remember crocheting I've told this to you before, and I've shown this to you. It's at home, but I crocheted a red, white, and blue granny square bikini and cover up that I learned how to do from the Crochet World magazine. Yeah. Okay, waiting for the connection. Okay. I think we're back. Sorry for the hiccup there. And again, Barbara, thank you for the sweet encouragement. And we have Donna Squeaky too. Hi, welcome to our chat. And Helen, thank you for being here. And Karen says, I want to do a red, white, and blue, but a several pointed round star pattern. Okay. Yeah. You're free to do whatever. Yeah. Once you get to that blue field, if you want to do a different size star, a different number of pointed star, you do whatever your heart desires. And another word about that, I did only glue these on with fabric glue. You may want to go back and hand stitch them on the around, but I do recommend you glue them on first because I think that's the best way to get them exactly where you want them to be. And don't do this. Don't put these stars on until you completely block the blanket. You're going to need to block the blue field into shape. Just take my word for it, you will. Um, you just need to work with some of these, but just make sure you block it before you start putting the stars on because that could be a big fail otherwise. And MMIG 12 has a question. Do you think 100% mercerized cotton will work for hot pads? I think it could. I'm not sure. Let's see. This is not that. Yeah, this is soft cotton. Um, I think it might be okay, but I would actually just opt for the peaches and cream or the more durable. If you can't get the yarn online, this is the DK weight. I would go for the peaches and cream stuff that's not mercerized, but it's made for dishcloths and things. I think when I think the mercerized cotton, that tends to be more for filet crochet and the thinner. But I don't know. There might be a brand out there that has thicker cotton. I'm sure that I'm just not familiar with. I'm just trying to minimize your cost and the practicality in that. But that's a great question. I just need to know more about the specific kind of yarn that you're talking about. Thank you, Rhonda, for your encouragement. And Grammy Rita, thank you. She says, I love the heirloom American flag. I'm on the basket weave stripe and it's looking beautiful. I will do the stars in glow in the dark yarn. It will be awesome. Oh, wow. That is an idea that I didn't even think about. Uh, wow. That is pretty cool. That reminds me, I have a hank of yarn that I got when I was up in at Prince Edward Island Festival last October. That kind of has that glow in the dark, not well, kind of a ultra black light enhanced kind of yarn. Need to dig that out and see what I can do with it. And Carolyn the corn dog says from San Francisco Bay Area. Good morning. Wow. Well, thanks for joining us, Carol. Um, and thank you for the thumbs up, Teresa. Um, thank you, Elaine's Crawford. You're so kind. And again, thanks, Denise, for that reminder. Uh, Phil says his favorite cotton yarn. Very cool. Yeah, Phil, I made a granny square vest a few years back out of it, and I just kind of the yarn just kind of fell off my radar, probably because we don't have not had a Hobby Lobby store in my area up in Maryland, but as of June 1st, we do. They had a what they call a soft opening. I guess they're going to have a big grand opening at some point. I wanted to be there, but things kind of deteriorated down here, so it necessitated two of us being on hand 24 hours a day. So I missed that one, but I'll be able to go once I go home. I'll be able to, enjoy Hobby Lobby more. I won't have to only do that on trips, to see others because we'll have our own. So I'm really looking forward to that. I really wanted to support them, make sure they stay open and in town because we've run out of really good places to buy yarn in my area. All right, it's 1:04, so it is getting a bit late. And I just got the word from Hannah that somebody wants to eat, which means they have to be taken out of their bed, and that takes two. So I need to um, be going here. So I'm sorry I didn't get to the rest of your comments, and there are so many. But let me just look and see. Thank you guys for your encouragement. I so appreciate that. And Trish Crow, thank you for joining us. She says, I want to take a trip to Hirschner's. Wow, that would, I'll go too. I need to find out where it is. That sounds good. Um, so I will have to read these. Okay, Ramona, thank you for joining us from Anchorage. I'm trying to, she says, Happy 4th to you all. This 4th of July, we'll be celebrating our brother's Uppy's birthday. Have a great weekend. Oh, wow. Well, have a great time celebrating that. And Randy, yeah, thank you for commenting. And the rest of you, see raised to ramble. Well, that's a great sign. Um, I will read these once a little bit later, once this renders and everything. Um, yeah, but I do need to go. But I wanted to leave you with something encouraging word. And this was from the the hymn or the song that we sang last Sunday, and I just wanted to read this to you. I'm just going to read one verse, but I thought it was so good. It's from the song "How Deep the Father's Love for Us," and if you want to look that up online, please do. I'm sure that there's somebody singing it, and it'll mean a lot more. But I love this verse. If I can say it without losing it, I will not boast in anything, no gifts, no power, no wisdom. But I will boast in Jesus Christ. Yes, his death and resurrection. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer. But this I know with all my heart, his wounds have paid my ransom. Oh, I cannot read that without getting affected. It's so much to give thanks for, so much to be grateful for. So that's my hope. Even in the midst of, the valley where kind of we are, even though it's sunshiny valley. um, yeah, yeah, God is good, and that's the strength. So I hope that helped somebody out there today, and hope to see you next Friday. Again, it might be right at noon, it might be a little off, but we'll do the best we can. God bless. Bye bye.